All right, let's dive in today. We're tackling that doorman-doorwoman interview. And don't worry, we've got you covered. We're using RoleCatcher's career guides and some sample interview questions. Your secret weapon to unlock those doors.
Sounds good to me. And it's a job with a lot of potential, The hospitality industry, it just keeps growing. So more and more need for those awesome doormen and doorwomen, the ones who make that first impression really count.
Yeah, definitely. And RoleCatcher, they totally back that up in their career guide. They even talk about some pretty sweet perks like potential for tips, building a network, all that good stuff. But let's get down to business. What about those interview questions? How can people really nail those?
Well, let's start with a classic one. Tell us about your previous experience working as a doorman or doorwoman.
Okay, so what if you haven't actually had that exact job title? Like, what then?
That's where those transferable skills come in. Think about it. Customer service, security. Have you done any of that?
Right, right. Like, even if you were just a barista, keeping everyone happy during the rush, that totally counts, right?
Absolutely. It's all about showing how your past experiences, even if they seem totally different, they've actually given you the skills you need for this job.
And don't forget, you got to tailor your answer to the specific job description. Like, what are they really looking for? Is it that customer service? Security? Something else entirely?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI can be a total game changer. Their AI can actually look at the job description and help you pick out the best skills to talk about.
Whoa, that's amazing. It's like having your own personal career coach in your pocket.
Right. Pretty cool, huh? But hey, back to the interview. Let's talk about those challenging situations. They might ask you, how do you handle difficult or unruly guests? This is where you show them you can stay calm, cool, and collected, even under pressure.
Okay, so instead of just saying, I'm good with difficult people, what should you do?
Tell them a story. Think about a time you totally calmed things down. What did you do? How did it end? Paint that picture for them.
Right. And don't forget to mention if you've had any training, like conflict resolution or de-escalation techniques. That shows them you're not just winging it.
Exactly. Preparation is key. Now, let's not forget security. Big part of the job. So be ready for a question like, how do you ensure the safety and security of guests and staff?
Okay, yeah, that's a big one. So what should you say to that?
Show them you're proactive. What would you do to keep an eye on things? Spot those potential problems. Regular patrols. Knowing those emergency procedures like the back of your hand.
Yeah, all of that. And what if you know about security systems and tech? Mention that, right?
For sure. Shows you're up to date and tech savvy. Super important these days. Okay, now another one that's all about trust. They might ask, how do you handle confidential or sensitive information?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. So what's the best way to answer that?
Be clear and straight to the point. You understand confidentiality policies. You're all about discretion. A simple, direct answer shows you mean business.
Makes sense. Okay, let's switch gears a little. What about customer service? How would you answer something like, how do you maintain a professional and courteous demeanor with guests at all times?
This is where your love for hospitality takes center stage. What are your go-to techniques for making those awesome guest experiences? Active listening, speaking clearly, a genuine smile, all of the above.
Yeah, it's like you're setting the stage for their whole stay. So important. But let's get real for a second. Doormen, they had to juggle a lot of tasks, right? So how do you handle that? They might ask, how do you prioritize tasks when working in a busy environment?
Organization is your best friend here. Tell them about your system, to-do lists, mental checklist, what works for you.
And don't be afraid to get into the details. Tell a story about a time you managed a crazy situation. What happened? How'd you handle it? What was the outcome? The more details, the better.
Storytelling is a total superpower in interviews. Makes you memorable. Okay, let's talk about those not-so-fun moments. How do you turn around a bad experience? The interviewer might ask, how do you handle situations where guests are dissatisfied with their experience?
Ugh, complaints. They happen, right? But it's all about how you deal with them. So what's the key here?
Empathy. You got to show them you get where the guest is coming from and you're genuinely trying to make things right.
So active listening is super important there.
Absolutely. Make them feel heard. Then tell them what steps you'd take to fix things and make sure they're happy. That's where your problem-solving skills come in.
Okay, I like that. Turn that frown upside down, right? But even before a complaint pops up, you can make a killer first impression. How do you answer this one? How do you ensure that guests receive a positive first impression of the establishment?
Remember, you're the first person they see. Your look, your attitude, it all matters.
Yeah.
What vibe are you giving off? Warmth? Professionalism? helpfulness. It's all about that first impression.
Right. And little things go a long way. What's your go-to greeting? How do you make people feel welcome from the moment they arrive? Offer to help with bags. Give directions.
Exactly. Those small touches can make a huge difference. All right, last question for this round. How do you stay on top of things in the industry? They might ask. How do you stay up to date with the latest industry trends and best practices?
Okay, so it's all about showing you're a lifelong learner, right? Do you read industry stuff, go to conferences, take online courses?
Yes, yes, and yes. And guess what? RoleCatcher's Career Guide, it's like a cheat sheet for this stuff. They've got insights, resources, all that good stuff.
Wow, so RoleCatcher really has everything. But wait, they have even more, right? Those AI tools.
Oh yeah, we can't forget about those. They can help you fine-tune your answers and get feedback for specific jobs. It's like magic.
Okay, that's incredible. But I think we need a moment to process all this amazing info. We'll be back soon with even more tips and tricks to help you absolutely crush that interview.
And we're back, diving deeper into how to ace that Doorman-Doorwoman interview.
Yeah, we've covered a lot already, from those tough guests to making amazing first impressions. But hold on. Before we jump back into those questions, RoleCatcher has another trick up their sleeve, right?
Oh, you mean their AI tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Exactly. So, remember how we talked about tailoring your answers to each job? Well, RoleCatcher's AI, it can actually look at your answers and give you feedback, like specific feedback for the job you want.
It's like having a coach, but for interviews. They'll tell you what to work on, even suggest better ways to say things.
It's kind of like having a secret weapon to make your answers even better and boost that confidence. But, okay, let's get back to those questions. We were talking about staying up to date with industry trends. What else can you do to show you're a lifelong learner?
Good question. Well, you could talk about any professional development courses you've taken, or industry events you've been to, even following blogs or online forums. That shows you're really interested in what's happening.
Right, it's like you're taking the initiative to learn and grow. I like that. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about general interview tips. What's something people often forget?
Research. Research the place you're applying to. Learn about their history, their values, who they cater to. It shows you care and you've gone the extra mile.
It's like going to a party and knowing a little something about the host.
Yeah.
You'll have a better conversation.
Okay, and what about how you look? Any tips for dressing for success?
Well, you don't need a tuxedo or anything, but you definitely want to look professional. Neat, tidy, and polished. Something that fits the style of the place. A nice suit or a crisp uniform can really make an impression.
Yeah, and those nonverbal cues, eye contact, a genuine smile, confidence, those things matter.
You bet. Your body language speaks volumes. It tells them you're enthusiastic, attentive, and professional. Okay, back to the interview itself. What are some key things to remember when answering those tough questions? Well, there's this thing called the STAR method. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. Basically, you tell your answer like a story. Give them the background, the challenge, what you did, and how it turned out.
I love that. It helps them really see you in action and the impact you made. Okay, and here's another one. Don't forget to ask questions at the end of the interview.
Oh, yeah, that's super important. Asking questions shows you're interested and engaged. But what kind of questions should you ask?
Don't ask stuff they could easily find on Google. Instead, ask questions that show you understand the industry and want to be part of the team. Like, you could ask about their goals for the next year, or how the Doorman-Doorwoman role contributes to the overall guest experience.
Those are great examples. It shows you're thinking big picture. Okay, before we wrap up this part, let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI. We talked about how it can analyze your answers. But they also have this amazing video interview practice tool, right?
Right, and it's seriously helpful. You can record yourself answering questions and get AI feedback on how you sound, your tone, your body language, everything.
It's like having a personal coach for your interview skills. And you can practice as much as you want until you feel totally ready to rock it.
It's a total game changer. And remember, all of this, the tips, the AI tools, it's all about helping you show off your unique strengths and personality.
Because in the end, that's what really makes you stand out. It's your passion for hospitality, your ability to connect with people, and your commitment to creating amazing experiences for every guest.
That's how you unlock those doors to success.
So as we head into the final part of our deep dive, think about what makes you special. What are your superpowers? What skills and experiences make you unique?
We'll be right back to explore those superpowers and leave you with some final thoughts to help you ace that interview.
All right, we're back for the final part of our Doorman-Doorwoman interview prep.
We've covered a ton, from analyzing those job descriptions and tailoring your answers to practicing with AI. It's all been leading up to this.
Right. Time to bring it all together and give you those last few nuggets of wisdom to really help you shine.
Remember, you're not just applying for any job. This is about creating experiences, making people feel welcome, and leaving a great impression.
You're the face of the place, right? The welcoming committee, setting the tone for the whole guest experience.
Exactly. Think about it. Every interaction matters, from that first hello to the goodbye. It's a chance to show off your skills and your personality.
And it's those little things, the warmth in your voice, a genuine smile, going that extra mile, that's what makes a difference.
Absolutely. So as you get ready for this interview, really embrace those qualities. Let that passion for hospitality shine through. Show them you can connect with people on a personal level.
Prove to them you're not just opening doors, you're opening up possibilities for amazing experiences.
Now, we've talked about strategies and tools, but in the end, it's about being you, your authentic self. That's what will connect with the interviewer.
Remember those superpowers we talked about? What makes you different? What are your unique skills and experiences?
Maybe you're amazing at remembering names and faces, or you're great at figuring out what people need before they even ask.
Or maybe you can calm down a tense situation like a pro. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to show it off.
Weave those strengths into your answers. Let them see it in how you carry yourself. Show them the value you bring.
Because when you're genuine and passionate, you're not just answering questions, you're telling your story.
And that story, it can unlock those doors and open up a world of opportunities.
So go out there, be yourself, and rock that interview. You got this.
And hey, remember, RoleCatcher is there to help you every step of the way. Their tools and resources, they can really make a difference.
Until next time, keep diving deep, everyone, and keep those doors of opportunity wide open.